News, the service of Progressive Windows and Doors, a physical activity edition being planned at the Weatherford Hospital. That's the big story for 7:30. I'm John Matthews. Weatherford Regional Hospital is currently in the planning stage of a project to promote physical activity, which will be located in front of the facility. Chief Executive Officer Darren Farrell shared more about the project with the Board of Trustees during Monday's meeting.
This particular set of grants from TSETS is for physical activity. That's what we submitted. Yes, we'd like to have it a little bit beautified out front. Our tentative design would also have some seating area, so it would have a nice, probably 5-foot wide concrete level walking track so that people in town that want a little safer, flat surface to walk on could do that here, possibly.
Farrell says the hospital has received $29,000 of grant funding from the Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust for the planning phase of the project. However, he says a separate grant application is required for the construction phase of the project. Cornerstone Early Childhood Development Center in Weatherford is now under new ownership, says former owner Vanessa Rogers. Effective Monday, ownership of the center has transitioned to Chris Isbell and Leapfrog Child Care, with Rylan Clausen serving as the site director. Rogers says teachers, daily schedules, and core curriculum at the center will remain the same. Custer County Sheriff Dan Day reminds residents to refrain from fishing off county bridges.
It's a liability, just like going back to town the back way. Same way, there's not enough room on there for two vehicles to pass and somebody to be standing there fishing. Yeah. But I learned that, like, if we write a ticket on it, it's a ticket. With the game rangers, it's actually in the state statute. Those things are all under the game ranger. So the game rangers ticket's like $700.
Day says the department will work with game wardens on the matter and tickets will be issued if needed. We'll have more news coming up next.
Progressive Windows and Doors.
Hi, Jeremy here. Although most windows appear to be equal, there are differences in their performance and function that can greatly impact how they protect you and your home. We have engineered our windows to keep out the harshest of elements while maintaining ease of operation. To see for yourself, come visit our plant and showroom. We are located just 2 miles south and 2 miles east of Fairview on the Isabella Blacktop.
German engineered, Oklahoma built.
Weatherford Public Schools Superintendent Mark Harmon recently discussed the potential of a future bond issue for the construction of a new high school, which voters did not pass in the February election.
That may just be a timing issue. Maybe, you know what, let's pay down some of that bond debt that we already have with the elementary schools. Let's see what the enrollment continues to do, and then see if the timing's better either this year or next year or a little bit after that.
Harmon says the next steps could possibly include gathering community feedback on the proposal. He says there have been no plans made to bring the bond proposal back to the voters. As Independence Day approaches, Town of Carnegie officials are reminding residents that the discharge of fireworks within town limits is only permitted on July 4th and must cease by 11 p.m. under town ordinance. Authorities say the unlawful sale, possession, or discharge of fireworks within city limits is a violation and is subject to a fine of $535. Clinton Public Schools Superintendent Nathan Meggitt recently reflected on the past school year, which was his first year as superintendent.
There's always things that we want to do better, but I'm pretty proud of the work we do. Just picking up with what we left before me. Our leadership team stayed intact. We do the work together. It's fun.
Meggitt credited former Superintendent Tyler Bridges for his work in the district. Here's state news of the Radio Oklahoma Network.
News from the Radio Oklahoma News Network. I'm Ann Roberts. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol says 2 men died after their aircraft crashed late Monday morning near Goldsby. Federal inspectors are examining the wreckage. Witnesses say the plane had reportedly taken off from Paradise Air Haven Airport when it was unable to climb and struck the ground, catching fire. The identities of the victims have not been released. An elderly Choctaw woman with dementia who wandered away from her home Monday and was reported missing was found dead in Choctaw. The Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office says 87-year-old Lucia Rodriguez was found inside a neighbor's car. Authorities say no foul play is suspected. Officials in Tulsa and Oklahoma City are reminding residents to take precautions during periods of extreme heat. Temperatures are expected to hover near the century mark for several days. More on these stories at RadioOklahomaNews.com. From the Radio Oklahoma News Network, I'm Ann Roberts.
News at 7:30, a service of Progressive Windows and Doors. Coming up next, we'll look at local funeral services after a word from Lee Hometown Funeral Home.
Most people don't even know where to begin when planning a funeral. Who wants to think about that anyway? So we put it off and often leave the burden on someone else. Or if the unexpected happens to a loved one, funeral arrangements are the last thing we want to think about. At Lee Hometown Funeral Home in Clinton, they will help you make funeral arrangements with compassion and understanding. Brandon Lee, the owner of Lee Hometown Funeral Home, understands the difference that locally owned and operated makes. Please visit Lee Hometown Funeral Home today at 1217 West Gary in Clinton.
Funeral services for 74-year-old Sarah Dyke will be held today at 10 o'clock at the Corn Mennonite Brethren Church. The final resting place will be at the Corn Mennonite Brethren Cemetery. Services under the direction of Lockstone Funeral Home. Funeral services for 70-year-old Gary Wayne Justice will be held today at 2 o'clock at the Patone Memorial United Methodist Church in Fort Cobb. Interment will be at the Carnegie Cemetery. Services under the direction of Ray Martha's Funeral Home in Carnegie. Graveside services for 69-year-old Donnie Ray Green will be held today at 3 o'clock at the Buffalo Cemetery in Sayre. He worked as a truck driver. Services under the direction of Wintery Funeral Service and Cremation Center in Elk City. Today's funeral notice is a service of Brandon Lee at Lee Hometown Funeral Home in Clinton.